This video will compare DocRebuild's new, original 1963 to 82 GM big flathead rivets with various reproductions sold elsewhere. Doc also has the genuine GM blueprint that shows the 6 different lengths and grip ranges of these rivets. Not only that, we purchase them from the OEM supplier to GM, made in the original tooling. Guess you can call them NOS, new old stock. Note these salient features. The exposed head is flat, about 1/16 of an inch thick. Most rivets have a head diameter twice the shaft diameter. These have a large flat head about 3 times the shaft diameter to prevent the head from pulling through the fiberglass panels. Compare the underside of the OEM head, which bears prominent uniform concentric circles. These are referred to as growth rings, and their number and uniformity are a defining evidence of an OEM part. They're produced when the die forms the head. If the improper hardness aluminum is used, there will be a different number of growth rings to produce a flathead of the proper diameter. The proper grade of aluminum is essential to installing these rivets in fiberglass. I refer to the following photo as the Magnificent 7, one of Doc's OEM rivets and 6 different reproductions. We have always purchased competitors' offerings surreptitiously to compare them to our offerings. 3 are identified, and I've lost track of the origin of the other 3. These rivets came from licks. Compare the growth rings. They are much less numerous than the OEM rivets. This close-up shows the difference. They're not even close. We purchased these stud plates with rivets from Paragon, but we sold it with our rivets. Notice the growth rings on these do not match the OEM rivets. The close-up also shows the head is smaller in diameter than the OEM rivets. We also purchased this spare tire V-bracket support with rivets from Paragon, but again, we sold it with our OEM rivets. Notice the growth rings on these don't match the OEM rivets either. This close-up shows the head is slightly smaller in diameter than the OEM. I cannot remember what vendor I purchased these rivets from. They had a noticeably dull finish, not shiny like the OEM rivets. This close-up shows they have many more growth rings than the OEM because they're a harder grade of aluminum and require more punches in the forming die to reduce the head. This repro rivet has 2 distinct growth ring patterns separated by a band and is easily identified from the OEM. I refer to this one as the Saturn rivet with a ring. This last repro is the most obvious reproduction. It has growth rings not only under the head, but also on top of the head. That's a dead giveaway. Let's face it, nothing beats the real deal when it comes to these OEM big flathead aluminum rivets. DocRebuild includes a list of 63 to 7 applications. Over 200 were used. You'll have to do your own lookup for the 68 to 82 applications in your assembly manual. Match the GM part number in the manual to the grip range chart we include. It shows the differing lengths that can be trimmed with wire cutters on any needle nose pliers. We offer these rivets available in packs of 25, 50, and 100 pieces. They cost a little more than their repros, but you get what you pay for. The genuine article, GM dead soft aluminum, used on your Corvette. Forget about it if you attempt to squash one of the hard aluminum ones and smash your pristine fiberglass. All made in the USA.